Hey everybody, it's Master Gallengeist here, bringing you my review for Thor issue 27. This is a really nice cover. It really shows off Venom and Thor pretty well. And I thought this was an interesting issue. Now granted, it has been a while, mainly because of like the banner war and everything, but it will be interesting to see how this one kind of goes off because now we've got Venom introduced and things are going to be happening out of that. So we pretty much open up and we see that Thor is pretty much brooding over what had occurred during the whole Banner War thing, with him turning into a gamma monster and breaking the Bifrost and all that. Breaking the Bifrost. Odin pretty much saying that he's brooding and needs to frickin' do his job. It's like, oh, you act like it's the first time you've ever lost your temper and everything. It's like, yeah, but I never, shattered the Rainbow Bridge because of that. And then he's like, the Gamma was acting on you. That's foul stuff. Dark light from the underplace. And the thing is that Thor's like, I need to take responsibility. Even if I could pretend differently, I am still the king. And, of course, the buck stops with him. We see that Loki pretty much pops up to see kind of how everything's kind of going and doing. Let's see. That evidently Loki pretty much popped up to check on Blake, as he is still under Loki's kind of ordeal, becoming the new god of lies and having a snake pretty much pour venom in his eyes. And Thor's like, you gonna tell me anything about that? He's like, I told you not to ask, and I wouldn't have to lie, and just let's leave it at that. And Odin's pretty much like, hey, just leave the storyteller to their secrets, let's kind of do this. So he brings up that, the Bifrost is broken, wonders if Loki can help. He makes pretty much a Bifrost giant joke, and they pretty much go there and see... They're, trying to kind of, do everything. They're, hours later, and, wasting his afternoon. Doctor Strange could have finished the job faster than your Lackwit's sibling. Doctor Strange is currently dead, lady said, and yet where is the lie? But evidently the bridge is broken, but it's still connected to Asgard that can't be sundered even by a hulked out Allfather. So the idea of it, the magical essence, is kind of blocking the new construction, and they're trying to figure out kind of ways around that. It could either take a month or 10,000 years. And they start coming up with other kind of ways, potentially using Midgard technology. And Odin's like, hey, can a hammer fire a gun? Because he's into Midgard tech. And Thor's like, we are not finding that shit out. So Loki pretty much starts with a simple stepping disc through limbo, name-dropping Ilyana Rasputin. But then he opened up a portal and boom, came out. Very kind of cool page right here. That's well, that's pretty effective. It's like, what? Thor's like, what did you fucking do, Loki? He's like, I just opened a portal. I don't know what the fuck's going on. Maybe it's friendly. Smack! That is not the hand of friendship. The Icker, of course, name-dropping Carnage, figuring out what's kind of going on. And then he's trying to get a good look at its face. And then, of course, we get the whole thing that this is Darkhoth, the death demon, who I don't really know much about. And I'm glad that we get this kind of little bit that is done similar in the old school style, that evidently he was, brought into Mephisto's machinations, and that he was manipulated, and that he's trying to pretty much, talk him down, that by the hands of Victor Von Doom, Pitt was transformed, his very bones coated with the demonic element Prometheum. And then, of course, we see him in his demon form here. He's got his power, and then he blasts it off at them. And I really love the description of there's no sound save for the cracking of the earth and the hissing of seared flesh. It's like, god damn, doing second-degree burns and shit. And of course, they're trying to figure out what's going on. They're like, okay, he's not in control. We gotta do some shit. Of course, there's ooze. And he had suspected what was kind of going on, as we see that, of course, Eddie Brock pops up. And really like that. Really kind of cool art style there for Eddie to look like that, as he pretty much explains who he is. He's like, King in Black, you're Allfather Thor, right? What gave it away? It's like, sorry, I know we met, but it's been a long time and things have been crazy. and we see that like Desmond Pitt is pretty much not in control. He's almost gone and pretty much taken over by this newborn symbiote, as he's pretty much going toward the Warriors 4 to like crack him. But of course, Thor throws his hammer at him, and he's like, "Listen, he's just along for the ride. It's a newborn symbiote, Bethlehem's child." And Thor's like, "Who the fuck's Bethlehem?" And and he's like, "A fellow king in black. He and Darkoth fought a long time ago. I don't remember Darkoth surviving that, but I guess he must have somehow." But he's thinking like that might be a prince. Loki's calling that a prince in black, but he's like, but I should still be able to control it, so I'm going to go kind of old school as he gets into a more kind of Venom-like thing. Kind of, that's really cool. That's nice. Just really showcases Venom very well as he then goes to take on Darkoth. But the thing is, he pretty much gets the upper hand, Darkoth, on him as he starts like utilizing his kind of demon fire powers, which is not good against, of course, the Clintar. So Thor does a thunder strike to kind of like blast him away. Let's see. Somehow the symbiote's got control over the Prometheum. Let's see. But he's using it instinctively, and he's learning all the time. And he'll try to impose his will on it, shape it, form it into a weapon. And it's like, and what's the most powerful weapon he can see here? As we see that he then is shaping it, and Thor's like, what the hell? He pretty much creates a red Mjolnir, which is interesting, and I'm like, okay, I don't know if it's like made from like parts of his demon powers and the symbiote, but that should be a fucking crazy ass thing to kind of deal with in the next issue. So I kind of enjoyed this to kind of see the fallout of the whole thing that was done with Banner. And then just the setup of like some crazy thing from the past, and then teaming it up with Venom and Thor having to deal with this. It's like, that's going to be a fucked up thing to have to deal with. It'll be interesting to see how they kind of work together and what kind of ideas they pop up with to deal with this thing, because it's not going to just be easy of like smashing it or whatnot. This thing created a freaking red Mjolnir, and that's not something that's like going to be completely easy to deal with. And I just really liked the art styles of how it kind of worked out, and I'm interested to see what kind of crazy stuff the art will be in the next issue. So those are my opinions on the issue. Tell me what you guys think in the comments below. If you liked it, if you didn't like it, if you agree with me, if you disagree with me. Also, like and subscribe, and I hope you have a good day.